Hello and welcome to another episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast, where travelers, newcomers, and locals come to find community in our beautiful place that we call home. I'm your host, Rens with Signal Fire Media. I'm joined by Suzanne Jalot from WARM, which is Wilmington Area Rebuilding Ministry. Did I get that right?
You got that correct. That's
I've done so many acronyms today. It's just like one right after the other. Suzanne, welcome. How are you?
I am fantastic and
Good.
So excited to be here.
Tell us about you. I think people here know you very well. How long have you been in Wilmington for?
Since 1997.
Okay, and people around here know you pretty well. And you've had like a broad career in this town, right?
You could say so.
Give us the twists and turns. Give us the backstory. Yeah.
Well, my background is in broadcasting,
Okay.
actually. So I've been in local radio for a long time. But recently, 2 years ago, I decided to switch over to the nonprofit world, which I'm very excited about and absolutely love it.
Well, you worked with tons of nonprofits when you were in broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you've kind of always been in the nonprofit world, sort of.
Yeah, I guess I have.
What was the impetus for the jump to get out of broadcasting, get into?
You know, there are a lot of for-profit organizations and companies that do a lot of good work in the community. Mm-hmm. I think that I just decided I wanted to work specifically for a nonprofit whose sole focus was to just do good in the community. Okay. So that kind of got my gears rolling. I volunteered in the past with several organizations, and this opportunity came up and it matched my skills, and I just went for it.
Well, what was it about WARM specifically? And maybe like tell us a little bit about the mission of WARM. Sure. and then what was it specifically that attracted you to them?
Sure. So WARM NC, we're a nonprofit that provides free home repairs to low-income homeowners. And we also advocate for affordable housing. So the affordable housing aspect really attracted me, but also just the idea of helping people who, through no fault of their own, just, couldn't help themselves. They couldn't maintain their homes, and they, any of us could find ourselves in that situation. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's kind of what drew me to WARM.
Is there like a specific story that you have that you were like, this is it for me. This is where I want to go next?
Oh my gosh, there are so many stories. Yeah. Every single time I meet a homeowner, it's a new story. Our vision is that everyone is safe at home, and I personally believe that housing should not be a privilege. Housing should be a right. Mm-hmm. Everybody should have the ability to live in a safe home. And so, there are so many stories. You asked about a specific story, but they're just, the people are so grateful. There's one gentleman who had saved up enough money to his bathroom was just in disrepair due to storm damage and hole in the roof.
I would imagine that's where a lot of it starts, right? It's through storm damage. Insurance doesn't cover it, or they didn't have insurance.
Exactly. And so this gentleman had saved up enough for materials, but he could not afford a contractor. Oh. And so we heard about WARM. Yeah. And, we came in and fixed that. He didn't have to pay for materials or the contractor with us. So,
nice. Save your money.
Yeah. So we were founded after Hurricanes Bertha and Fran way back in 1996. Okay. 1-2 punch the area. Yeah. And so a group of Methodists went out and said, we're going to help these people that had suffered storm damage. We're going to try to make them whole again. But what they found, so they were responding to a natural disaster, the hurricanes. What they found was a social disaster, which was substandard housing. Mm-hmm. When they'd go into the homes, they found a lot of the damage predated the storms. Wow. It wasn't caused by the storms. And some of the damage that was caused by the storms was exacerbated because they hadn't, been able to maintain their home as well.
Got a hole in your roof, then a hurricane comes.
Exactly. Yeah. And so they said, well, we can't just, fix the storm damage and leave these people here. And so they founded WARM. That was back in 1996.
Wow. And continuous operation since then? Like how many homes y'all or people have you estimated having helped in those 27 years?
I don't have to estimate.
To the number.
We've helped over 2,300 families since 1996.
Wow.
And we continue to grow each year. We've grown by about 14% each year, and we're able to serve more and more people.
Wow, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
What's the typical project, or is there a typical project?
I would say there's no typical project, but we do a lot of accessibility ramps, wheelchair ramps. We repair a lot of stairs and entryways, like landings. People's landings are in disrepair. A lot of flooring repairs. But we do everything from roof repairs to plumbing to electrical.
Right.
Just whatever the person needs to be safe at home. So.
What brought you to Wilmington originally? Let's go back a little ways.
Well, I had graduated from college, and like any college student or college graduate, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I moved back home with mom and dad.
So are you born and raised here?
They happened to be living in Wilmington at the time.
Okay.
And so I came. I ended up staying. They moved away a couple years later, and I just loved the area. So.
Where are you from originally?
Born in Delaware, but grew up just outside of Raleigh. So
not Wilmington, Delaware, right?
Not Wilmington,
That'd be
Delaware.
too weird.
That would be too weird. Not weird, but that would be a big coincidence.
Serendipitous, maybe. That might be the word for it.
Yes.
So was the Raleigh-Wilmington connection there even when you were growing up in and around Raleigh? Would y'all come here?
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we would come to visit Wilmington, and especially, in high school.
Yeah.
Trips to Wilmington with your friends.
How much has it changed in the decades that you've...
It's changed. Wilmington has changed a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of growth. A lot of things look different. I can remember driving out where Mayfair is, and it was fields.
Really?
That's how long I've been here.
That's so cool.
It's crazy. I mean, it's good.
Have you? I know one thing that I worry about in particular is like a city like ours where people are so attracted to the lifestyle and the geography and the opportunity that we lose what makes this place kind of special. Have you seen that in the 30 years that you've been here, plus years that you've been coming here?
I don't know that I've seen that, but I hear people that live here talk all the time that they haven't, I haven't been to the beach in a year. I haven't visited this or done that. And like you said, there's so many things that make this area attractive. When you get in the day-to-day, sometimes you forget about things.
Yeah. Well, I think you've had a cool perspective on it being in broadcast, and like I'm sure that has brought hundreds of different people in and out of your life. I mean, when I opened my insurance agency, like we worked together when you were still at 103.7, and somehow I got a new radio installed in my car recently, and that was the radio station that it went on, and that was 2 days ago. And I was like, wait, Suzanne's coming in. So, I mean, that's kind of weird threads all pulling together. But from like, is your perspective as a broadcaster, and like, what is all of that meant to you, or how is that all I want to know what it was like for you, seeing that from that perspective, and being an advocate for the community, being an advocate for business and nonprofits here. Like, what's that been like?
I mean, it's been wonderful. It's a great journey. I always say that Wilmington is a big small town, and so it's really nice seeing familiar faces when you're out and about. I mean, everybody, Ricky Meeks. We were talking about Marshall, this gentleman who used to go and take photos of every single event or at every bar downtown and things like that. And he's still around, and he has boxes and boxes of photos that he's taken throughout the year. It's like a time capsule of life in Wilmington that he's got there. So you meet so many interesting people, and it's just been wonderful.
I love it. Yeah, we have a really cool place here. A couple episodes ago, I was like, we need to stop talking about Wilmington, though. Like everybody here, we keep making all these pitches to other people about how great it is. We don't need to do that anymore. We're full. Wilmington is full. Or is there room to grow, in your opinion?
That's a tough question. That's a really tough question.
Do I want a parking spot at the beach, or do I not want a parking spot at the beach?
I know, because once you have your little area, and we were talking about this the other day, is that sometimes you don't want to leave your bubble of the vicinity that you live. I live near downtown, so I love hanging out downtown. And Porter's Neck is, that's the other side of the world.
Right,
but we live in Porter's Neck.
It'll take me 20 minutes to get there. I can't go there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a great thing going here, and I don't think there's anything wrong with letting people know, and we just continue to to grow and become a better community.
How about the downtown resurgence? We've talked to a lot of people on this show about the beach, right? The beach gets all the attention. What about downtown? There's awesome stuff happening downtown.
Absolutely awesome stuff happening downtown. When I first moved to town, I lived downtown.
Okay.
And then moved out to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Now I'm back. But just the businesses that are popping up, the nightlife, and just it's just a wonderful. It's got a good vibe.
Great concerts coming out of the pavilions,
live
bringing in
guests,
great acts,
exactly,
national acts.
Concerts, and then you've got all the little districts popping up.
Yeah.
Cargo District, and you've got the Brooklyn Arts District,
Yep.
and you've got so there's all these
Soda Pop District,
Soda
another
Pop
good one's got
District,
some great
that's
stuff going
where
into
Warren's
it.
Headquarters
Okay.
are right
Yes,
now,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
Have you tried the pizza place over there?
Yes,
Is it good?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I drive past and I'm like, I like to pop in there for a good, authentic pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
We'll
Highly recommend.
we'll figure out the name of it. We'll put it in a lower third down here so
Yeah,
people
I
can.
know the name, but I always
feel like it's
mispronounce it.
Agostino's. Is that right?
No, it's Cugino Forno, but I don't know that I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I'm way off. Cucina Forno? Is that right?
Cugino.
Oh, okay.
Forno, yes.
Yeah, we're not saying it.
I just completely mangled that.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But everybody knows the pizza place.
Yeah.
the brick oven pizza place. Stuff.
Speaking of great concerts that are coming, I have to work this in. Have you seen you've done a lot with Azalea Fest, haven't you?
Some
Here and there. Have you seen who's the opening act for Azalea Fest on April 4th?
Was that T-Pain or
T-Pain.
Chase Rice?
T-Pain.
Okay, I know.
T-Pain. Yes. I called all my, because I'm from Atlanta. Well, I lived in Atlanta before we moved here, and the hip hop was massive in Atlanta, and around the early 2000s when T-Pain started coming to fame and was mainstream making hits. He was huge. We loved him, and I saw it on my Instagram. I was like, T-Pain's coming to Wilmington. So I called all my friends. I was like, come on, now's the time to come. If you haven't come to Wilmington, come visit because we're all going to go see T-Pain at Live Oak Bank Pavilion.
That's going to be amazing.
I just want to find a way. Maybe you can help me with this with all your connections. I just want to be the one to announce him.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Maybe announce him with auto-tune.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. T-Pain. That's so good.
I don't know if I have any connections for
you.
There,
Do.
Rob,
You do. You do. Did Warm do their event, your annual fundraiser at Live Oak Bank Pavilion, or was that somebody else this year?
That was somebody else this year. I'm not sure.
I thought it was outside. It was in the spring. There was tents. It was beautiful. It was Project SOAR, I think is who it was. I think I get the acronyms mixed up sometimes.
There's so many acronyms.
Every nonprofit's like, let's just be an acronym.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Let's be make it easy on people.
Yeah.
Be an acronym.
I love the idea of an event, though.
It was cool. It was really cool. They brought tents out, had it catered. It was a beautiful spring day right there at the riverfront, pavilion in the background. So there you go.
Yeah.
So what is it that you do specifically for Warm? What's your position?
So my title is Director of Development.
Okay.
So that means that I oversee fundraising and communications. Not
good
just
spot
me.
for you. Yeah.
I'm not that important, but yeah, in general, I oversee the fundraising and communications programs. So
what are some of those key initiatives that you're gonna be working on heading into 2024? Things that you want to communicate to people?
We need donations and we need volunteers.
How about that?
Yes.
Time, talent, and treasure.
We cannot run without either of those things. So we love our volunteers. Our volunteers are amazing, and the reason that we're able to do more for each homeowner is because we use volunteer labor. And don't want anybody to get scared if they don't have construction experience, because no experience is necessary.
Yeah.
We have construction staff that lead you through each project, and it's a great way to pick up construction skills.
Yeah.
If you're a little intimidated by some home improvement project, volunteer with Warm and we'll teach you how to install flooring.
That's great.
Build some stairs and landings.
That's great.
So you get free training.
Oh, I love that. OJT.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's reason enough to volunteer right there. You can go to Home Depot on a Saturday and learn how to build a birdhouse, or you can go to an actual construction site with Warm on a Saturday and learn how to frame a house.
Right.
A proper house for humans, not just for birds.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's just really fun. We do staff rebuilds sometimes. We call what we do rebuilds. And so we'll have a staff day where the staff will go out and work on a rebuild.
Cool.
It's really a good reminder of what we do and why we do it.
Yeah. What are the fundraising events throughout the year that people should be paying attention to?
We do have 2 major fundraising events. In June, we have our gala, which is themed Home Sweet Home.
Oh, that's cute.
So we're going kind of a Candyland theme.
Nice.
It's so much fun. It's going to be at the terraces on Sir Tyler. And so
That's a cool little venue.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. That's where we held our gala last year.
Okay.
And so it's a chance to dress up and raise funds for your favorite home repair nonprofit.
Okay.
We also hold a luncheon each October. So, and actually last October we had Eric Estrada as our guest, which is kind of cool.
I remember seeing pictures of that, I think, on Instagram. Was he in town just for that, or was he here doing some filming or something and you grabbed him?
We convinced him to come back.
How'd you get chips?
So we were, a year prior, we were involved in a show that he was hosting called Divine Renovation.
That's right.
Yeah, they reached out to us to say, hey, do you have anybody that we can help?
Yeah.
And so so we were part of that. And so when the luncheon came up, we were brainstorming, thinking, I wonder if Eric might want to come back.
Yeah.
And so I contacted the producers, and he was thrilled to come back.
So cool.
It was really cool.
So cool. Is he coming back again this year?
He probably will not come back next year. We'll do something different. We got to switch it up. Every now and then.
Keep it fresh, right?
Yeah.
So June is the big event. Can anybody get tickets to that?
Anybody can get tickets. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then sponsors, I'm sure.
Sponsors.
Yeah.
We need sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are sponsors just like all comers, or are there people that you work with specifically? Like, why should somebody sponsor?
Any business that wants to support a good cause and also get some promotion out of it is welcome. So we have sponsorship opportunities at multiple different levels. And we'd love to have anybody who wants to be a part of our mission and join our mission.
Nice. Let's shift gears a little bit because you touched on affordable housing. We do have an affordable housing problem here. I believe I met with the Wilmington Housing Authority a year and a half, 2 years ago or something like that, and they said that our housing pricing is higher than what like EMS, firefighter, police, like teachers would make on average to be able to afford housing. And those are professional, level careers and whatnot. Talk a little bit about that and what we're experiencing here and how you propose to fix that, or how Warren proposes to fix that.
I wish we had an easy fix.
Run for mayor, Suzanne. Suzanne.
To explain a little bit, so typically you should not be spending more than 30% of your income on your housing.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're spending more, that means you're cost burdened. And a lot of the people in our region are cost burdened. They're spending 40, 50, sometimes even 60% of their income just to be housed. Mm-hmm. And so the statistics that you mentioned, the people that are working, when we talk about affordable housing, a lot of people don't understand what that means, but it's exactly what you said, that people at a certain income level cannot afford the average price home or rental in the area. And so that's what's happening. They're being priced out of the area, and they have to move outside of the community that they serve or work in. And so that's a real problem.
Yeah. Well, what's a real solution for it?
A real solution, we talk about more inventory. We talk about higher wages. Mm-hmm. Those are both solutions that I have no control over.
Right. I worry about the inventory issue, and not from the human side of it, but the quality side of it. And there's a ton of investment going into development around this area, and I've having the previous career in insurance, like you would see some of these homes that would get thrown up, and it was like a nightmare scenario for some of these homeowners because the quality was just so poor in it. And it's almost like, are we setting people up to fail by pushing all this inventory and to put them in a home that's going to create potentially a customer for Warren down the road? Like how would you think about addressing that, where it's like, I agree with you, we need more houses here. we need more places for people to live, especially because so many people want to come and live here. How do we balance those two things?
So I'm not sure if I'm going to touch on that, touch that question.
Okay.
But I will say we believe the most efficient affordable housing strategy is to preserve the affordable housing that already exists. Mm-hmm. And so essentially that's what Warm NC does. When we go in and we repair these homes that otherwise would not be repaired, they might fall into disrepair. Code enforcement might, just declare them uninhabitable at some point. And so we're preserving the existing affordable housing. And I'll give you a number because people like numbers. We have from 2022, we preserved $16 million in existing affordable housing inventory in our area. So that's the combined tax value of all of the homes that we worked on in 2022. Obviously don't have numbers for 2023 yet. But so that is one strategy that can address the affordable housing crisis, because the other thing is homeownership is a gateway out of poverty.
Right.
So we preserve the homes, the families are able to pass them down, and so then their future generations have a little bit of a leg up and can break that cycle of poverty because they've already got this home here that they can either sell or they can
hold on to.
Sell and move up. But
it's definitely complex because where we have our studio, like we're in an area that has some lower income and what's the word that I'm looking subsidized housing, not government housing, that's the wrong way of saying it. Subsidized housing. And I worry about the people who live there currently because we're a growing area and there's a ton of development coming. I don't want to see people pushed out of their homes and it bulldozed for condos and sky rises just to put more affluent people into an area. And then it's complex. It's really, really complex, and wages certainly addresses some of it. It's a full solution for people who are much smarter than me trying to figure it out on a podcast of how we balance all this stuff. But I guess the service that Warm provides is a solution in and of itself, because if a home becomes inhabitable, well, then that becomes a place that somebody could just knock something down and put something else on it. So keeping people in their existing homes is one solution to it. Am I summarizing that right?
Yeah,
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want to impede progress. There's nothing wrong with improving the neighborhood, but when you price people out, and push people out, that's a real problem.
I wonder what our ceiling is on this market, with home prices, because as that continues to push up, then that entry point up and out of poverty becomes more and more out of reach. So at what point is it okay, this is how much we're actually going to sell houses for? And it could, I could be considering utopian pie in the sky dreams here. I know everybody has to make a buck, especially if you're building a house, but I just wonder what's that top end? Where does it stop?
That's a great question. Yeah. I think the start is that we need to start having more conversations about affordable housing and ways to address affordable housing. And I think those conversations are starting to come up. But more people need to be concerned about this.
Do they?
Yes.
So where are those conversations happening? Local politics? How involved are y'all there? And I'm sure you're probably deeply involved with county commissioners and elected officials and whatnot. What's the sense around the people that we elect to address these challenges?
I think they're very interested in addressing these challenges. Yeah, they're working towards the solutions, but like you and I, nobody has the one perfect solution. It's there's so many factors that go into it, but I definitely think that they're aware of the issues and they're working towards what they can do to help address it.
I've got a solution. Everybody build their own yurt. We're just going to give everybody yurt supplies, and you just build a nice little luxury yurt right there wherever you live.
That's an interesting solution, Rob.
It's more of a suggestion than it is a solution, I guess. Yeah, now Instagram is going to feed me all of this. Look at these luxury yurts that people put in 5 acres in Wyoming and whatnot. Not practical. Not practical. What else should somebody know about Warm that they might not know from this?
We are, like I said, we're advocates of affordable housing. We are serving the community. We serve 7 counties, which is why we call ourselves Warm NC. We call ourselves the acronym Warm NC instead of Wilmington Area Rebuilding Ministry because, yes, we were founded here in Wilmington. Our headquarters are here in Wilmington, but we serve 7 counties across Southeastern North Carolina.
Okay.
And we love it when people refer homeowners to us. A lot of times homeowners are a little too humble they don't want to reach out. They don't want to admit that they need some help. So if you refer a homeowner, we can reach out to them and try to get some help.
Yeah.
So,
That's great. That's great. If somebody wants to do that, they want to refer somebody, or they want to get involved, they want to give you a check, they want to give you some of their time, what's the best way to get in touch with you or to get in touch with Warm NC?
Easiest thing to remember is warmnc.org. All of our information is up there. If you're the type of person that can remember a phone number, it's 910-399-7563.
Nobody remembers phone numbers anymore. It's spell check, memorizing phone numbers. These things have made it obsolete, right?
Exactly. So warmnc.org is really where go-to for all the information.
That's great. That's great. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I get nervous. I get nervous having a professional broadcaster on.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I know. That's Suzanne Jalot from Warm NC. I'm Rob. This is the Connect Cape Fear podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you learned something here today that you'll take forward into our community to help make it a better place. Until next time, we'll talk to you then. Thanks.